Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. It's time for a movie review. Today, me and Brooks are going to be talking about Aladdin. That's right everybody, thanks for checking out the video. I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups. This is Brooks the Magnificent, and we are going to be talking about Aladdin, the 2019 remake of the early 90s fan favorite Disney film, Aladdin. Fantastic movie. I love the original Aladdin. You like the original Aladdin?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Absolutely, right? So there's a lot of trepidation going into this movie, right? We've all seen the trailers. In the first trailers, the genie looked a little wonky. Of course, this film is directed by Guy Ritchie, which if you would have told me, Brooks, back in the day, that the guy that did Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Snatch, even Sherlock Holmes, if you would have told me he was going to be doing an Aladdin remake, I'd have been like, you out your mind. But he did it.
Didn't seem the most obvious choice.
Not at all. Jasmine, of course, is played by Naomi Scott. Will Smith plays the genie. I lost the page that I had pulled out. Who plays the handmaiden you were talking about?
Nasim Pedrad.
And she was on SNL.
Yeah. Back when it was funny again for a while.
Back when it was funny again for a while. Mena Massoud plays Aladdin, the title character, if you will. And somebody I really want to point out is Marwan Kenzari, who plays Jafar, and Alan Tudyk did the voice of Iago, all that kind of fun stuff. But anyway, I really, really liked this movie. Brooks, I loved this movie. I was worried going into it. We are all worried. I didn't really like The Jungle Book that much. I didn't like Maleficent at all. Dumbo, we just didn't really vibe with that.
Yeah.
So I haven't seen Beauty and the Beast.
Me neither.
But I was really nervous about Aladdin, but man, I was like a kid again. I was smiling the entire time. It was thrilling. It was fun. It was the same story, but they added so much new content to it. They added a lot of agency and backstory and purpose for Jasmine, for instance. And Naomi Scott not only is probably the best performing actor in the movie, she's also the best performing singer in the movie. Her songs are they're awesome. They extend out some of the favorite songs from back in the day. They add in new songs. The new song that was written for Jasmine, Speechless, it's a very powerful song, and the way it's placed in the movie. I'm telling you, I loved this movie so much. I was so surprised. What did you think about it, Brooke?
I thought it was good. It was very fun. I don't think it was as good as the original, but it's not far. I don't think it's that far beneath it, really.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a really fun, movie in a kind of a different way,
Yeah. We're about to talk a little bit more about the movie. There may be some slight spoilers in the next upcoming bits, so consider yourself warned. Did you like the way that they added things to the story? They added the element that Jasmine, spoilers, wants to be the Sultan.
Yeah.
And that they have that kind of be the resolution at the end. It's Jafar's motivations are not just that he wants to be with Jasmine, right? Like in the animated movie, he's like, oh, I'm going to marry Jasmine too. And this one, it's more of a power play against the Sultan, right? And it just kind of comes in at the end. Jafar, he has a little bit of backstory that's introduced to the character. Jasmine's character is so fleshed out. They changed the character. They didn't change any of these characters, but they added new elements, especially to the genie and to his ending. What do you think about the way that they changed some of the story?
I liked most of the changes they made.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I'm glad that Will Smith did his own thing as the genie.
Yeah.
And I think it really worked. If you had Will Smith trying to do the Robin Williams thing, 100 miles an hour, going from this to that, it just wouldn't work,
Yeah.
Because only Robin Williams could have pulled that off.
That's his shtick. That's his style.
But I think Will Smith, what he brought to the genie was
he
really
played
fun.
the authentic character that Robin Williams created, right? But he didn't necessarily do it with the shtick of Robin Williams, but he did have a lot of charisma. He was very charming in the movie as well. I thought he did that. So let's talk Will Smith. I thought that was the biggest worry a lot of people had. They were like, Will Smith. And at first, maybe some of the CG looked doofy. Maybe in a couple, the very first teaser where you see him, it did look wonky. And in the movie itself, there are times where you're like, that's Will Smith's CG'd head floating. And it's just sometimes it did pull you out maybe just a little bit with some of the CG, but a lot of CG-heavy films do that. One of my big critiques is that it's like there are moments that are glaring out there where you're like, this is so obviously a green screen. So obviously a green screen. It's like Once Upon a Time level bad or something like that. I'd like to see more live locations and stuff filmed now, but I get it. It's way cheaper to put people on a green screen and make this awesome, what's the name of the Agrabah. Make this awesome place. Then actually to go to a desert somewhere and build a whole set.
Right? Build a whole city.
Yeah, right. So I get it. I understand. Did the CG, did it hold up for you?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I didn't really notice anything that jumped out at me. Except maybe a little bit of the genie, his blue form a little bit, but not enough that it took me out of it.
Yeah, I think overall Will Smith's performance was great, even through some of the wonky CG at times.
Yeah.
I think it still was a very charming and charismatic performance.
I loved the thing he did when he was talking to him about Jasmine, where he's doing this.
Yeah.
He's got his feet up, but
I loved his giant obnoxious hat too.
Yeah.
He actually is really cool. We'll get to the music here in just a minute. But the other thing I want to mention real quick then is it's shot beautifully. Guy Ritchie does a great job, and one of the techniques that he likes to use is he'll cut certain frames out here and there to kind of make something seem choppy and fast. He does it in Snatch, he does it in Lock, Stock, he did it in Sherlock Holmes as part of his style. He did it in Aladdin, and he did it in musical numbers, and it works so well. Like One Step Ahead or whatever that song is, right?
Yeah,
he does it during that.
Was as good though.
Yeah,
it seemed a little awkward in parts.
See, I loved it. I thought it had so much energy behind it, man.
Yeah, but it's like there are just certain things about it, like when in the animated one where he breaks into, he goes through somebody's window and the woman's like, I can't remember what the line is, but the woman is like, if I could just remember the line of the song.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember. They changed it though, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's instead of he the woman just steps in front of these guards or whatever, and that just stops them in their tracks while she sings her line. I thought that was kind of weird.
Okay. What did you think overall about the music in this film?
It was good.
Yeah.
Obviously.
You're not the biggest musical guy, right?
Yeah, and I don't think it was as good as the original.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm digging it.
I mean, I thought, but it wasn't bad.
I love the music in this one. I like them. Because they got more production power. They got just more oomph behind them. They extended out the songs. They added a couple new songs. It really fleshed out the story a little bit, but it also fleshed out the musical aspect of Aladdin too. And even though it's not a straight up, we're singing every single line at you, it definitely to me feels more like a musical than the animated film did. The animated film felt like an animated film that had a couple musical numbers in it. You know what I'm saying? But in this one, it's great. And Will Smith sings, and he sings fairly well. The best singer is Naomi Scott. Is that her name? Jasmine for sure. Mena Massoud as Aladdin. What do you think?
I thought he was pretty good. He was a charming, but he was a nice guy.
Yeah.
And I like how they made him stumble a little more when he's trying to, I guess get a date with Jasmine, pretty much.
Okay.
Like when he first shows up as the prince, he keeps stumbling over himself and saying the wrong thing. I thought that was kind of neat.
Okay, yeah. I thought he did a great job, too, with what he had, absolutely. And he had a lot, because Aladdin's a very powerful story that a lot of people know and have fond memories of, a lot of nostalgia tied up in there, so there's a lot of weight behind that. I think it really helped him maybe because knowing that most of the pressure was going to be on Will Smith, right?
Yeah.
But I think he does a fine job, but Jasmine, she is, to me, the best in the movie. She is absolutely, it's a stellar performance. It's so real, it's so charming, and it's just so grounded for me. I was just really taken away by that. What did you think about Jasmine in the film?
Yeah, she has more to do in this than she did really in the
she's a much stronger character.
Yeah. They kind of use her more. In the animated one, she did have kind of that defiant personality.
Yes.
But in this one, they kind of run with that a little more.
They absolutely, they make it integral to the story.
Yeah. But one thing that did bother me was, how she has the song.
Yeah.
Her new song.
Speechless.
It's she does half of it earlier in the movie.
Yeah.
And then
they do a
in
reprise.
the end they do the other half. When they do the other half at the end, where the guards are taking her away, and all of a sudden she starts singing this song, it felt like it didn't fit right.
Oh man!
And also because all of a sudden everybody was disintegrating. I'm like, what's going on? Is she just disintegrating these people? What the hell is happening?
Did she get the Infinity Gauntlet?
Is she the genie all along?
Yeah, right. What a spin! What a twist! I loved it, but of course I love musicals. That's a very typical musical thing to do, is to have a song and then do a reprise.
It would have been better if they just let her do that song in the beginning, like,
well,
when she was frustrated about, her father.
Yeah, well, it's a callback.
And all that.
It's a callback because she sings the first part, and the first part is her saying, but she's wavering about it, and then she I get why you don't like it, but it's
it was like a drastic tone shift.
It's a very musical thing to do sometimes. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, Jafar. I love Jafar in this movie. Some people I've heard and talked to in person said that Jafar was weak and not very well done in this movie. I intensely disagree. The actor that played Jafar has such an intensity in between them. He's conniving. He's Machiavellian. He's like always there. You can see all the gears always turning. He's got a very subtle, slow burning intensity behind him, right? Mm-hmm. And when he's found out and he doesn't have to hide anymore, he does even get crazier. Now, a lot of people I think have a misremembering of Jafar in the original Aladdin film. I love Jafar. I think he's one of my favorite Disney villains. But a lot of people would equate him on a level of like Shakespearean villainy, like a Scar or a Maleficent. But that's not what Jafar's ever been. He's always kind of been cowardly and like sniveling and like, he's not.
Well, he's like a con man.
Yeah.
He's kind of like got this like pleasantness, but like kind of greasy, oily kind of.
Yeah, but in this one I felt a lot more threat coming across, especially once he got control of the genie. But I love Jafar in this movie. What'd you think?
I thought he was pretty good. I wasn't as much a fan of this Jafar.
Man, Brooks is not usually very hard on movies, but I feel like Brooks is being very hard on Aladdin. Man, you have a real strong connection to the original.
A lot of it has to do with how good the original was.
Okay, absolutely.
But, they did give him a little more, story wise. And he explains to him like he used to be a thief just like him, and he like, he's like you steal a loaf of bread, you get like a day.
Yeah.
Like, what if you steal a kingdom or something like that?
Yeah, I love some of his lines, man. And really, it's not just like this dude shows up like grab the street rat. We'll use him. And like he's actually like he's being more of a con man than the animated Jafar kind of came across. At least for me, I really like Jafar in this film, man. So overall, I really enjoyed it. You thought it was pretty decent, but not like near as good as what you love about the original.
I like the original better.
Okay, absolutely. We do ya digs here. So out of 5 possible ya digs, what do you give Aladdin, Brooks?
I give it 4.
4 ya digs. Wow. All that stuff you were saying, and you're still giving it a 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, the problems don't really detract from the enjoyment of the movie. So
okay.
I think overall it's a really fun watch. And I think a lot of people will like it.
I'm conflicted because I was going to rate Aladdin 4 ya digs. But now I'm like, if I say 4, that means me and Brooks are, and like, obviously I like this movie more than you did. Like, it really, like, I can't wait to like get this on Blu-ray and watch it again. Like, I've been listening to the soundtrack. Like, I prefer Will Smith's Arabian Nights now. Because there's more to it, too. And it's more full. It's embellished down a little bit. So, man, I'm really thinking hard about this because I don't think it's 4.5 worthy. I'll stick with 4. 4 was my initial gut reaction. That means, to me, 4 is like solid. That's almost like an A movie. That's pretty good. I gave Iron Man 1 a 4. So did you.
Yeah.
I gave Iron Man 1 a 4. So, even though you were talking kind of some mad shit about Aladdin, you give it a 4.
Hey, I'm just being honest, man.
Okay, me too. So I picked 4 too because I think it's great. It's one of my favorite films of the year right now. Seriously. Us, Captain Marvel, Endgame, Aladdin. Those are my favorite films of the year so far. Anyway, yeah. So 4 and 4 for an average of 4. Jelani didn't watch it. So Jelani said we're too old to do double features, and that means 2 movies in 1 week, not 2 in 1 night even. 2 in 1 week. Old. We did it.
Yeah. Next,
Godzilla. Jelani will be here for that. So thank you so much for checking out the video. Let us know what you thought about Aladdin in the comments down below. We really do appreciate your support, checking out the videos and the channels and all that stuff. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and join us over at Pop Culture Philosophers for podcasts and a whole lot more. Speaking of podcasts, Brooks is on the next podcast. We'll be talking about X-Men. Because there's an X-Men movie coming out.
Oh,
maybe we should go watch it.
We should.
Maybe we should. So I'm Rockin' Robbie Billups. This is
Brooks.
We appreciate everything. You dig?